Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePaoli.
And I'm Patrick Dougal.
And Patrick.
Yes.
It's been a while since it's been just the two of us. We had
know.
a couple weeks with a fantastic guest on the show, but what that means is there's a lot of stuff to talk about that we haven't gotten to yet, and a lot of big stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to it today. But before we go there, I just want to mention on our last episode that was just the two of us, we were talking about Inside Out, and you had mentioned how, I think this might have been your trivia question, perhaps, about how in certain countries there was different food that was discussed. Well, somebody wrote in, Matthew Flores, thank you for writing in. He wanted to let us know there are also changes inside the dad's head. In America and some other countries, when he was daydreaming or in his own little world, he was watching hockey, but in a lot of other countries it was soccer. So I thought that was a fun little fact.
But then she still liked hockey?
That I don't know.
I assume that was a big section.
Yes, that had to have stayed the same, and that would make sense because she lived in America. But I guess, I don't know, to relate with the people more of daydreaming, it was soccer, because I know soccer's huge in other countries.
Yeah.
So if that's wrong, find Matthew Flores and let him know. But he wrote it and said that. So
See, I find that faulty though, because I feel like she got her love from hockey from her dad.
It's a good point. Maybe she got her love of sports from her dad.
Maybe.
But
she didn't like soccer.
Yeah. So in any case, shall we just jump into this?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot. So first of all, a little Mary Poppins announcement, which, I think we've talked about this a little bit on the show. I don't have the emotional attachment, nostalgic attachment to Mary Poppins like a lot of people do. You are similar situation.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Yeah, so it's been announced. I'll put it to you this way. I prefer Saving Mr. Banks over Mary Poppins. So, but in any case, it's been announced there's going to be another Mary Poppins movie.
Yes.
Not a sequel, not a remake, but another Mary Poppins live-action musical movie directed by Rob Marshall, who you may or may not know, who directed Into the Woods for Disney, won the Academy Award for Best Picture with the musical Chicago, which you love.
Yes.
So, initial thoughts on this?
Well, initially, there was a whole backlash from, of course, people who find Mary Poppins to be untouchable. Initially, there was a casting rumor about Anne Hathaway,
which, come on, kind of perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the actual casting.
Oh, what is have they cast it already?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know this. Is it Ashley Brown?
It is Emily Blunt, who was in Into the Woods as the baker's wife.
Oh, I really do like Emily Blunt.
So I was like, okay, yes. I liked it better than Anne Hathaway.
She was nominated for Into the Woods, wasn't she? She was one of the few. Wow. I didn't actually hear that. That's great news.
Yeah.
Emily, wow, awesome. My mind's blown right now. That's fantastic.
So, and again, she already has a connection with Rob Marshall because they've done Into the Woods.
I didn't think they were that far along in the project, to be honest. Is there a finished script?
Oh,
I didn't think they were that far along, but that's interesting. From what we're hearing, or from what I've read, 20 years later. So if you don't know this, Mary Poppins was a book series by P.L. Travers. There were a lot of stories. Walt Disney's Picture took stories from, I want to say the first 7 books. I could be wrong on the exact number, but it was the early books. This is going to be 20 years later with Mary Poppins, and the Banks family apparently still is a core part of it, but it is 20 years later. So I'm curious to see, does Mary Poppins not age?
Apparently not.
She has magical powers, so maybe she doesn't age, or maybe she has some really good plastic surgeon. Not sure which.
That too.
So listen, I'm cool with it. The one thing that's a little bothersome to me, do you know where I'm going?
No.
It's a musical.
Yes.
And somebody's not writing any music for it. Dick Sherman is not writing any music for it. Supposedly,
Bobby Lopez.
No. Oh, have you not heard?
No.
It is. I'm blanking on their names. Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, who wrote the music for the musical Hairspray.
Okay.
And tons of Mark Shaman. Actually, fun little fact. I should have made this my trivia, but he originally was hired to write the music for Emperor's New Groove and was fired and was replaced by, who was it? Sting, right? Who wrote the music for Emperor's New Groove? Pretty sure it was Sting. But yeah, so Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, musical theater royalty.
Was there? I couldn't name one song from Emperor's New Groove.
I think it was more like Tarzan, where Phil Collins did like the background score. Like the characters weren't singing so much, but you would know better than me. I'm not a huge Emperor's New Groove fan.
Which happy 15th anniversary to Emperor's New Groove.
Yay, happy 15th. Yay. So I'm bummed that Dick Sherman's not involved musically. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring him on as a consultant, but it should be cool.
I just would really hope for a Julie Andrews cameo.
That'd be great. And honestly, I did like the Anne Hathaway idea because she did Princess Diaries with Julie Andrews. I was like, it's a nice little tie-in there. But Julie Andrews cameo could be nice. Who could she be? Let's make up a character. Shit, there should be a Feed the Birds reprise, and she should be the beggar woman.
Done.
Fantastic. I would love that. But yes, guys, it's happening. Whether or not you're happy or sad about it, it's still happening. So let's just jump on that bandwagon and be excited about it. I don't think there's any dates or anything set. My guess is earliest 2017. It's probably more like 2018. Mm-hmm. But from what Rob Marshall, hey, I love Into the Woods. Emily Blunt, thrilled about that. That's great. Mark Shaman, fantastic. Sounds like some good stuff happening. I'm all for it. Yay. Beyond that, let's see. So Mickey, it's Halloween time, guys, at the Disney parks, if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and also,
let's hear it.
For those of you who weren't at the D23 Expo, they released a trailer for the Jungle Book.
Yes, they did, which is funny because
it wasn't. I feel like we got even more extended.
We got way more than what they showed online.
They didn't show Christopher Walken.
No. I think you see his hand, but you never hear him speak.
You never hear him speak, but we did. But the trailer looks good still.
I gotta say, I'm not like super stoked for it. I'm interested in seeing it. I have never been a huge Jungle Book fan of like the original animated film. Never been a huge fan of it. I like it enough. I don't know. The trailer is like, okay.
The interesting part about this one is they had Scarlett Johansson narrating the whole thing, who plays Ka?
Sure.
What's the snake's name?
Oh, Shere Khan's the lion.
Ka.
Oh, people are going to be writing in so angry with us. I think it's Ka. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ding.
All I know is that it sounds like Winnie the Pooh in the cartoon because it's the same voice.
Cool. So that was released, so if you haven't seen that, check it out.
Check it out. We'll stick it on the YouTube page. No, sorry, not YouTube, Facebook page, in case you haven't seen it. So check that out, Disney Coast to Coast. Moving on from there. So Halloween time, as I was saying, is here at the Disney parks, and Mickey's Halloween Party is here, and there's a kind of cool new offering, although a pricey one, Mystical Spirits of the Blue Bayou. I like this because it features the character of Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog, which... I like Princess and the Frog a lot. I think more than most people do. I think most people forget about it, but it is just such a perfect setting for Disneyland with New Orleans Square. I like the fact that they're doing something with this. And what they're doing is it's going to be like a 3-course dinner in the Blue Bayou restaurant. And there's going to be appearances by Dr. Facilier and the Cadaver Dans and some pirates. So it sounds pretty cool. You're also getting premium viewing for the Halloween Screams fireworks show. And when you leave, you're getting an Eric Goldberg lithograph. And if I'm not mistaken, Eric Goldberg is the man who designed the genie from Aladdin. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
90% sure on that. But the price tag is...
But this is the hard part to swallow. It is $150. Not including that it is a Halloween party only offering, so there is a Halloween party ticket on top of that.
Yeah. So a lot of times with these types of things, like if you're an annual pass holder, which let's face it, those are the types of people that tend to take advantage of these add-ons, because if you're a tourist, you're already paying a ton. So like, for instance, the Jungle Cruise breakfast. You already have park admission with your annual pass. You're not freaking out about it. With this, you do have to buy admission to Mickey's Mickey's Halloween Party,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, the $150.
Now, my problem is not only are you paying for the Halloween party ticket, you're paying for the dinner, which a Halloween party ticket is about $70 plus the $150. You're looking about $220 a person.
Good math.
Yeah. But the fact is that you're paying for the Halloween party, but this dinner goes all the way up till 9:45.
So you're missing a lot of the Halloween
So
party.
you literally only have 2 hours and 15 minutes left of the Halloween party to enjoy.
And a huge chunk of that is the fireworks.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting point I haven't thought of. Yeah, I feel like it should be included in the price.
If it were to be a normal day offering where you like non-Halloween party nights, interesting. It would be cool.
To be as, I guess this doesn't really. I was gonna say you can get into the Halloween party pretty early, like before the Halloween party officially starts. But I guess that doesn't benefit you if you're an annual pass holder because you're already used to the everyday offerings. So yeah, that's an interesting point I haven't thought about.
Yeah, the thing is with the whole dinner is you can. With Halloween parties, you can go in 3 hours early to Disneyland. You can check in at 4, but from 4 to 7, that time before the Halloween party starts, because I believe Halloween party starts at 6 or 7, one of those times.
I think 7, yeah.
You have to be back at 7, and your dinner experience is from 7 till 9, and then they walk you over for fireworks from 9 to 9:45. So no matter if you go in early or not, you're still... more than half of your Halloween party is to this dinner.
Fair point.
So it is, unless you're going twice to a Halloween party.
If you're going twice, you get a.
I feel like some of these dining options with this Jungle Cruise thing and this Bayou are getting a little too pricey. But if people are paying for them, then. It's not going to be me, but, good for Disney.
Well, here's the thing I always ask. I'm like, even if I had like the money to blow, would I do it? And like, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would rather the Jungle Cruise experience personally. I think that that's a cooler experience. It's also double the amount.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Look, they must be making a lot of money through them because I feel like every week we're hearing about a new dinner/meal offering in the parks. So it must be successful. It's interesting. It's pricey. It's all I'm gonna. It seems to be always quite pricey.
To me, if I'm going to a Halloween party, I want to spend the most time at the Halloween party.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. You'd rather stand in line waiting for characters.
Yes, I would.
But what if like Dr. Facilier is at this dinner that you can get a picture with him? Is he in the park during the party?
That's another question people are asking, and he could not be.
Yeah, my guess is he's probably not.
Which I'm fine with. I don't.
And they also said in Other Friends. Now, I don't know if that just means the Cadaver Dans and the Pirates, or if there's going to be like more rare villains, because that could be interesting.
Now, this sounds very similar. We're spending a lot of time on it. But last year over at Walt Disney World for Not So Scary, they had the villain soiree.
Which was one night?
It was the same thing. It was during Halloween Not So Scary Halloween parties.
What was the thing at the Hollywood Studios I'm thinking of?
That's Villains Unleashed.
Okay.
No, this is another dinner option. It was a dessert party.
Party, I remember this, yes.
This was $99, but it was in Cinderella's Royal Table, villain meet and greets. You got a souvenir Maleficent cup full of candy.
Yeah, not worth $99 to me.
It didn't come back this year.
Well, there we go. And that's how, you know what, that's how we learn whether or not people actually paid for it, is whether or not they come back. And interesting. Good to know.
But
and
also, speaking of food,
keep going.
The Jack Lindsay's Hangar Bar had its preview over at Disney Springs.
It did. I'm gonna check it out when I go.
So this opened up faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, it definitely seems like,
especially for Disney.
For Disney, I know. Well, here's the thing: just don't announce when you're gonna open it. Just do it. Like, surprise us. It's great.
But yeah, that looks great. So that's opening. They had its preview, so it should be opening really, really soon.
More about Disney Springs later, because I got some other things. But I know why Patrick keeps talking. It's because he's trying to put off something he doesn't want to talk about.
There's a lot of things I'm putting off.
No, he does not want to talk about.
But mainly this one. I don't want to say anything.
I'm going to say it. It has been officially announced that Aladdin, a musical spectacular at Disney California Adventure, is closing to make way for Frozen, the musical. Patrick?
Oh, I have no comment.
No, you have many a comment.
I have no comment
Are you okay?
I can specifically say on
Are you
this.
okay? Okay. Listen, obviously Patrick's really upset about, as you know, if you're a listener or reviewer, he's obsessed with Aladdin, the musical spectacular. And I understand you're upset that it's closed, but is it more closing? Are you more upset that it's Frozen than staying its place?
Yes.
Like, that's kind of a punch in the gut. Especially with the sing-along right down the street, which who knows how long that's going to stay. I've heard nothing about the Muppets returning.
That has to go.
What, the sing-along?
Yeah.
I would hope and assume. I hope the Muppets TV show is getting ratings enough to bring Muppets 3D back, maybe even a new Muppets 3D. But I don't know. This is my personal feelings about Aladdin the Musical Spectacular closing. Don't kill me. I'm okay with it. It's been a very long run. It's been a very good run. I'm very happy for everybody involved. I would like to see something new. Frozen is not what I want to see. I would have preferred Tangled from the cruise ship would have been nice. Now, they actually made an announcement like this years ago, a few years back, when Toy Story the Musical was supposed to take its place. And that got canceled, and I wasn't ever sure why. I had heard it's because Aladdin was so popular, but then I heard recently people said like the Toy Story Musical tanked on the cruise ship. No pun intended. But I heard it really was bad. So perhaps that's why it was canceled. I don't know, but it sounds like it's definitely happening this time. The official closing date is January 10th, 2016, and Frozen will be there by the summer of 2016, which is a pretty quick turnaround. I think Frozen will be spectacular. I'm sure it will. I think it would be funny if they took every Genie cast member and made him Olaf. That would... what is it? There's so much I want to ask you about this. What are the chances you think that you'll love Frozen the Musical?
Oh, I'm sure I'll like it.
Okay. So what's wrong?
It's not Aladdin.
You've seen Aladdin how many times?
Yeah.
How many? Probably over 100, right?
A lot.
Over 100 times. Yeah, I don't know. It's time to move on.
No.
It's time to move on. We have to say goodbye.
You know what? That castle has been there for 60 years. It is time.
I'm all for an expansion of the castle.
No, not even a castle. We're doing Elsa's ice castle, and we're gonna just...
No, don't kid with stuff like that. It's a theater. Shows have their time. They get replaced.
Yeah, when they lose credibility and people get sick of them. It's still filling up every day.
I guess I can't disagree with you. It's been like 12 years, though.
13.
13 years. 13 years! It's a long time. That's longer than most Broadway shows.
And it still fills up.
Yeah, there's no doubt Frozen will fill up. So where are you going to be on January 10th, 2016? You're going to cry, aren't you? He's gonna cry. Guys, it's happening. So leave a comment below.
It's cool. I'm already on the VIP list. So.
Okay, cool. Whether you're on SoundCloud or YouTube, leave a message below. Let us know what you think about Aladdin Musical Spectacular closing, number one, and also what you would like to see replace it. What could replace it that you would be like happy? Tangled. That would make you happy. Okay. Well, we'll start it.
Magical Map Part 2.
No. Magical Map, the sequel over at DCA.
Mickey and the Wondrous Book.
That would be so funny if that's how they get you to buy a park hopper. You see part 1 at Disneyland, and they're like, and now for the conclusion of this story, go to DCA.
Mickey and the Wondrous Book.
There we go. Fantastic. I dreaded talking to you about that, but we actually haven't spoken much about it. Although when I found out, I simply texted you and wrote, "Are you okay?" And his response was simply,
"Nope."
No. That's all he said. But interestingly enough, the day before this announcement about Aladdin closing, Norway caught on fire over at Epcot, over where the new Frozen ride is being built. I thought this was funny. I just think it's funny that it happened one day before the announcement. It's like the Disney gods were upset. So,
yeah.
Enough Frozen. Enough Frozen.
Here's my thing.
Let's hear it.
The show is great. What I really like are the cast members who put on the show. I think they're great. However, they're not all white, Norwegian, Swedish people. There's gonna be no more
Disney's really into
that
blind
casting.
Disney is really into blind casting.
Black Elsa.
Let's do it.
Done. Moving on.
Okay, we are going to move on from there because we could talk in circles about it all day. But more stuff going away. It has been announced that this is the last year for the Osborne family spectacle of dancing lights. I'm bummed because I've never experienced this. And it's been one of those things I've kind of wanted to and never have. I definitely remember as a kid being in the park, seeing those strands of lights up. I don't know if perhaps they weren't ready to be lit or if I just wasn't in the park that late at night because, the parents are dragging you around. I can't remember the reasoning. I've never seen it.
To me, they released this about 3 or 4 days later from Aladdin.
And it was the weirdest thing because these press releases were coming out at like 9 p.m. It was very weird time. It was like, let's slide this in before anybody notices.
And I was like, whoa. Stop trying to cover more stuff up from the Aladdin concert. Yeah. I've seen the Osborne Lights. They're cool. Some people had a connection to them. I could care less. Okay. Obviously, they're making way for Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's, equally, you're going to have to console me an episode pretty soon because every time there's an announcement of that area of the park going away, we're getting closer and closer and closer to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie set playground going away, folks. And I'm going to be a wreck. Just FYI, fair warning, you're going to have to take control that week because I'm not going to be okay. What I'm praying for at this time is that I'm going to Walt Disney World in not so long from now. I just hope it's there. And if I remember correctly, when I went to visit you, was it not like closed or we weren't able to get in or something? Like it was still there, but did we walk in? I think maybe briefly or something. I don't know. I feel like it was kind of closed a bit, but
it'll definitely be open.
I'm hoping one last time
because Osborne are happening this year.
Yeah,
it's not happening next year.
Okay, fair enough. So good. I am requesting to purchase Auntie when this closes. Okay. Company D, hook me up. I want Auntie. But yes, I digress. The Osborne family lights, I would like to see it. Here's the thing. I don't think it needs to go away necessarily. I think it could be moved. How about to Hollywood Boulevard? How about to Future World at Epcot? How about somebody brought up once to me a really good idea? The countries would be interesting and work it into illuminations. I think that could be interesting. The problem with all of these ideas is it gets pretty ugly during daytime because these strands of lights are very visible. If it were my first visit to Epcot and I were seeing these strands of lights on the countries, I'd probably be a bit angry.
I feel it like it only works for New York. And plus...
Well, it used to be in the homes. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Before they bulldozed the homes, like the Golden Girls house and stuff, from the Backlot Studio Tour to make way for Lights, Motors, Action, it was the homes that they decorated. And it's once they got rid of those that they moved it to New York Street. So that actually isn't the original location. So maybe they'll be moved, but they're saying this is the 20th and final year.
Yeah.
And if you don't know this is actually done by an outside family, the Osborne family, not like Ozzy, but different Osborne, spelled differently as well. So they may take it somewhere else. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the history of this Light Spectaculars, they used to do it to their home. Mm-hmm. They ended up getting into trouble with neighbors and legal issues because too many people were coming to see it. And that's when Disney said, hey, come display them at our park. So just because it's leaving Disney doesn't mean they're necessarily gone. They might be going somewhere else. Who knows? But I'm bummed to see them go simply because I've never experienced it at Disney. You're whatever.
Yeah. Don't try to cover up Aladdin.
We're still talking about Aladdin, folks.
And then another
announcement
thing
from the Hollywood studios, right? Is this where you're going?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Cancellation of Mulch, Sweat, and Shears.
Which I've never seen. Mulch, Sweat, and Shears is this group of... They're supposed to be gardeners, right?
Yes.
And they break into music. Describe it. You've seen it. You love them, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you were a big fan.
I could care less about
Oh, okay.
to be honest.
Okay, fine.
No, there was...
It's no Aladdin, folks.
Another, I was like, whoa. You're still trying to cover up Aladdin. But we all remember... They're like, as soon as they announced the Osborne thing, people were like, no, save the Osborne. And most were, no, save Mulch. I was like, whoa. Save Aladdin. No one cares about these other two.
Tell me the truth. Since you won't let go of Aladdin, have you signed any of the petitions?
Oh, 100%. It's not going to do anything.
But your name will be on there. So funny.
Anyway, yeah, Mulch, Sweat, and Shears is like a improv-ish kind of band that comes out. They go to different locations. They used to be on the stage in front of the hat. That's the last time I saw them. There was a hat there. New York, you can find them, whatever. And they did like almost covers of rock songs. I always walked by them.
Okay, for some reason, I'd heard you mention them before, and so I think I just kind of assumed that you were a fan of them.
Nope.
But I guess not.
People were like, oh, teary face, small squish face. But Aladdin, though.
But Aladdin. Never gonna get over Aladdin.
They tried to sweep it under the rug by other closures. We still remember.
Okay, well, that's it for the closures announcements.
Yes.
At least for this week. So let's move on to some newer stuff that we're going to be getting. You were talking about Downtown Disney Springs a bit earlier. I'm still calling it Downtown Disney Springs. I love that name. At some point, it will be officially called Disney Springs. For me.
It is.
Oh, have they officially?
Well, at least when you're going through Walt Disney World, because it's huge and they have signs. It's like Epcot this way, Magic Kingdom. They do say Disney Springs now.
But I think there are still signs up in Downtown Disney that say Downtown Disney. So for now, for me, it's Downtown Disney Springs. They have some new restaurant announcements, some that have been rumored about, some confirmed. There's a steampunk-inspired restaurant called the Edison, which I like steampunk. I think it's a cool design. But the coolest thing about this is there's a secret room/other area called the Neverland Tunnels. And this is under the Adventurers Club, or what was the Adventurers Club, which is now going to be the Edison, I believe. And so you have to like go through the Edison to get to the Neverland Tunnels. And of course, it's themed around the Lost Boys and everything. And it sounds kind of cool. It's going to be an adults-only area.
I was going to say it's a bar?
Yeah, after certain hours, it's definitely going to be adults only. So sounds kind of cool theming. So I think that that's neat. And there's also a rumor about a place called Walt's, which I think is in Paris already, but supposedly coming to Downtown Disney Springs as well. So that's a lot of... There's a lot of stuff happening. Have they ever officially announced... they did, didn't they? What's going where Disney Quest is? That's the NBA space now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so change is still coming. I don't think there's an end date announced or anything for that, right? But I would like to go to the Neverland Lounge, or the Neverland Tunnels, rather.
Me too.
And I'm still bummed I never did the Adventurers Club. So stupid. And you never did either.
Nope. I was a little lad.
How long ago did it close?
A long time ago.
Really?
Yep.
Was it that long ago? Okay, cool. Anyway, that's most of the news. But before we head on to trivia, I want to mention... As promised, I said if you left us a nice review on iTunes, I'd give you a shout out. So here are a bunch of shout outs. Thank you for these 5-star fantastic reviews. Raffswag. Some of you have weird usernames, but Raffswag, Ain the City, Charlaser X, I Live Laugh Love 49, Cassandra Murillo, Frankie61, Andrew Seiler, and West Coast Fangirl. Thank you for the 5-star reviews on iTunes. If you want a shout out, you can go to iTunes, leave a review, we'll give you a shout out. But I do have to mention, West Coast Fangirl left like the funniest review, and I'm going to read it to you right now because it made me laugh a lot. She wrote, it used to be a fantastic show for casual and die-hard Disney fans, and then Frozen ousted Aladdin from the Hyperion Theater. Rest in peace, Patrick. Looking forward to more quality Disney coverage from Jeff until Frozen is inevitably replaced by Brave the Musical. This is somebody who clearly watches and listens to the show regularly and knows our love and hates very well. So thank you for that, West Coast Fangirl. It made me laugh.
I'd be fine with Brave the Musical.
No, shut up. You would be fine with Brave the Musical replacing Aladdin. I don't accept that.
Jeff, chase the wind and touch the sky.
No, stop it. So I thought that was really funny, and thank you for that. But now it's trivia time. You gonna start?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your trivia question?
So,
Yes.
there was a fire
Oh.
in Frozen.
Yeah.
We talked about.
Yeah.
A year ago, this time, there was also another fire in Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
What caught on fire?
It was the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
It was.
And it happened when we were in line at Knott's Scary Farm.
It was.
Yeah, over at New Fantasyland.
There was also another fire last year. Do you remember?
Yes, a Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah.
Over at New Fantasyland.
Ariel's Undersea Adventure.
Yeah.
And then, last year, there was another fire in Disneyland.
Yes, behind
In
It's a Small
front
World.
of
It's a Small World.
It was a tree in front of Small World.
There we go. Lots of fires happening at the
You know
Disneyland.
your Disney fires.
Woohoo! I'm a pyromaniac, so
I love Disney fires.
I love the fireworks. I have to say though, recently fireworks have been scaring me because I've kind of been like leaving the park at weird times or coming to the park at weird times, like when the fireworks are beginning. And so I'm kind of not on that, oh, fireworks are about to start mind clock. And I'll just be walking, boom, and I'm getting very, like, they're frightening me. And I'm like, oh, it's just the fireworks. It's normal. I can't imagine being, like, living that close and listening to that every single night of the summer. That must get terribly annoying, especially if you have young children.
Yeah.
In any case, we were talking about Mickey's Halloween party here at Disneyland. And Mickey's Halloween party has actually had a few different names here at Disneyland. And I'm wondering if you know any of the other names and or when those names were used.
Not so scary.
Not So Scary was never used. And I was talking to somebody about this today, and they had an interesting theory as to why. Because I personally enjoy the title Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I think it tells you exactly what it is. I think it's that great alternative if you don't like those scary haunted house things like we do. So I love the title, but somebody said perhaps they don't do it because we have Not Scary Farm so close to Disneyland, and the Mickey's Not So Scary might be too close to Not Scary. Which is a terrible name for Knott's because it makes it sound like their haunted attraction is not scary, but it actually is.
Yeah.
So, but in any case, I thought that was an interesting theory. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But it's an interesting theory. But nope. Give me some guesses for other Halloween party names.
Mickey's Masquerade of Halloween Fun.
Nope.
Mickey's Halloween Bonanza.
Well, you got 2 words right. Mickey's Halloween
Bash.
Nope.
Halloween Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I wish.
Mickey's Halloween party. Trick or treat party.
Hey, that was one of them. Mickey's Trick or Treat Party was 2008 and 2009.
Okay.
Before that, in 05 through 07, it had a Mickey's Halloween
party.
Nope, one of the same words as before.
Mickey's Halloween trick.
No.
Mickey's Halloween treat party.
There you go. No, just Mickey's Halloween treat. Yes, Mickey's Halloween treat from 05 to 07, Mickey's Trick or Treat Party from 08 to 09, and now Mickey's Halloween Party. So those are the different names that they've had. I think that's interesting, fun. I wonder why the changes, but it has happened. In any case, folks, that was a lot of news. That was a lot of big news. Some not so great news. But the times, they are a-changin'.
Yep.
And should we do an all Aladdin episode, maybe?
Yes.
Maybe we should at some point do an all Aladdin episode. Maybe we can get a cast member on. You know plenty of them.
Yes.
Maybe we'll make it happen. We'll see. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. It's been a fabulous week. I hope you had a great one as well. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Which is a very nice segue. But before we go there, I just want to ask real quickly, selfishly, so you worked on Roger Rabbit. What's the real story as to why there's no sequel? We know the want and desire was there, but what really happened there?
I really can't comment, but here's the story.
Okay.